Welcome back to Analytical Media. We are a consortium of therapists, college professors, and well-published peer-reviewed authors. Today's question: how damaging is lying in a relationship? This question could have been asked in different ways. Could you have a relationship with a liar? If one member of a relationship is a known liar, could it possibly be a good relationship? Is there a future to this relation? Lying is devastating to a relationship because with a liar, you never know what the truth is. And if you don't know what's true, you can't possibly feel safe. To feel safe, you need to believe your partner. When your partner says they lock the doors before bed, you need to be able to believe him or her or they. If your partner says he was down at 7-Eleven, a convenience store, looking through some magazines, you need to be able to believe that's where he was. If it turns out that he was really stopping by some girl's house, that wouldn't be so good. So to feel safe, you need to believe that your partner is telling you the truth, or your friend or your boss. And people who lie are not healthy people. And once you know that they're liars, even if you've never caught them cheating, you've never found anything inappropriate on their phone, but it's the fact that they lie about virtually everything that means you can't trust them. To be trusted, you must be trustworthy, which means that what you say must be the truth. If what you say is not true, then you cannot be believed, and you won't be believed. Now, someone may lie occasionally, and thus the oftentimes posed question, is it okay to tell a white lie? And the truth is, most people would agree that if lying produces the greatest good, you lie to an individual and your lie is better for them, it helps them, then that's considered a white lie. For instance, if someone says they just got their hair cut and they ask you, how does it look? And you know that it takes 6 months for this hairstyle to grow out. Should you tell the truth? You think it looks terrible, horrible, disgusting. Should you say that? You think that they look very bad. Should you say that? It's going to make them feel bad. Or maybe you just lie a little bit and say, well, it's not too bad. Oh, it looks okay. I liked it just as much the other way, or maybe the other way was a little better. All to try to make the individual feel better, the person you're lying to. Now, if that person says, I was just drinking some milk, do I have any on my face? It would not be appropriate to lie there because in that circumstance, because they could wipe it off their face. In 5 seconds, they could be back to normal. Whereas the hair would take 6 months to grow out. So they're upset for 5 seconds while they wipe their face, or upset for 6 months because they value your opinion and you just told them that they look bad. If you've told a lie like that, you want to make sure that sometime before they get their hair cut again, when their hair is mostly grown out and they're talking about going back, you could say, I really think you looked better with long hair. Your hair definitely looks better now. I'd think twice before I'd cut it again that short. That's your responsibility. You correct the lie to make them feel better and safer now. You've corrected it. The lie served its purpose. Now you have to correct that lie so that they're not harmed in the future. But we're not talking about that type of lying, which most philosophies would consider to be acceptable. If the patient says to the doctor, "Doctor, is this cancer curable?" And the doctor knows that this person only has 6 months to live, 3 months to live, and the doctor knows it's not curable, but the doctor knows that the best thing for this person to believe is that they have a chance, that there's hope to save them. Sometimes the doctor lies. And 50 years ago, the doctor always lied, or virtually always lied. But we're not talking about a lie that produces the most good or the least damage. We're talking about a person who you may have been in a relationship with, who lies about everything. Lies that their brother was a famous singer. Lies that they got something at a discount. Lies about what they watched on television. Buys cookies at a bakery. Brings them to work, telling people that he or she made those cookies. It's what people at one point would have called a compulsive liar. They lie about the sexual partners they had before you knew them. And they're attempting to say something to you that you're going to find most agreeable. It may be that you find it best, and they think you would find it best, to believe that they had no sexual partners. And so their answer to you would be they had no sexual partners. But if they thought you wanted to hear, or in the questioning and talk that's going on, they'd find out that you would like to hear that they had had a number of sexual partners and are more experienced and know what they'd like sexually, they would then lie and say they had 12 or 15 or 18, constantly modifying what they're saying. You're questioning them and asking them things, and it turns out that you didn't like the 18 previous sexual partners. They'll change it. And they'll say, "Oh, well, I was just saying that because I really didn't have any sexual partners, and I didn't want to seem inexperienced, so I just lied about that." And then if you continue to question them and talk to them and say, "Well, I had hoped you'd had some sexual partners, just not 18, they'd say, "Well, I was afraid to tell you, but really I had 6. This is totally unacceptable in a relationship. You can have no relationship. That relationship is destined to end. Because if they think it's okay to lie about previous sexual partners, they may find it's okay to lie about current sexual partners. It will cause tremendous fights in a relationship, but there is no stability. And without that stability, without you knowing that you can trust your partner, you will never feel safe. And the relationship will never grow. And remember, this lying partner will most likely not get caught in lies every day. It may be 6 weeks before she'll get caught, or he will get caught, before they lie again and get caught again. And every time they get caught in another lie, it rips up whatever stability had developed in the relationship. Now, if you are the partner who lies all the time, recognize this. You are not healthy. It is not a good thing to lie to other people. You may need to lie to people for your own safety. Someone breaks into your house and has a knife. Is it okay for you to lie to them? Is it okay to say, "Hey, get out of here because my husband will be home in a second," or "My wife who has a gun will be home in a second," or "I'm going to pick up the gun from this drawer and shoot you repeatedly"? Is it okay to lie then? Why, of course it is, because it's for the greater good. But other than that, someone who lies about their accomplishments lies about what the boss said, lies about everything, literally everything. Why they bought the car that they bought, what it said on their performance review at work, what classes they took in college, what grades they got. That's not healthy. Those people are not healthy people. And it depends what it gets them, the lies. If it brings them misery in life, unhappiness and depression, they should work on it. Should go to therapy and find out why they lie as much as they do. If, on the other hand, they move from relationship to relationship, they get in one, they lie, they stay in it till it ends, go get another relationship, utilizing lying and deception until that ends, and off they go to another one. If that's what they do and they're happy that way, and they are not depressed or upset, then chances are they have a psychopathic trait or character, or are completely psychopathic. And not to bring any religion into this, but a book like the Bible, which is revered by many millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, and has been for 2,000 years, and we are not promoting a religion here, nor are we downgrading or denigrating a religion here. We're just saying that historically speaking, in the Bible and in other holy books, but in particular the Bible, the Christian Bible, Satan is described as the great deceiver. Satan is the great deceiver. Deceiver is liar. A deceiver is someone who lies to try to accomplish something, to gain something. So lying is not good. Lying is a very bad thing, and unfortunately it's hard to know. If you're in a relationship with a liar, you will know in time that you are in that relationship. But in the beginning, it is difficult to know. Is this person telling the truth or lying? So oftentimes, we don't know enough or aren't educated enough to pick out the liar, to see them as such, until we're involved in a relationship. But if you think about it, should you stay in this relationship? I would say no, not unless you get involved in group counseling, couples counseling perhaps, so that you can bring your concerns to the therapist. You can bring the lies, because don't forget, the liar will lie to the therapist. So it's not much of a judgment call should you stay in a relationship or not. It is obvious to people educated in field of psychology that the answer is you should not. It will not be good for you. But I say it really doesn't matter if you think about it a lot or not at all, because that relationship is going to come to an end fairly quickly. If you get out of it early, you'll save yourself some heartbreak. And if the liar is okay with lying, if they're sort of glib and free with the lies, even after they get caught. Of course, when they get caught, they lie to you and say, I won't lie anymore. You're right, I was lying, but I'm done. I won't lie anymore. Which, of course, is a lie. And they'll prove that to you by lying 5 minutes later or 5 days later. I hope we've brought a little insight into the subject of lying. I hope you're not caught in a relationship with a liar. When someone lies in a relationship, there can be no trust. It's illegal to lie in a legal document, a binding document. It should be illegal to lie in a relationship, and your lying partner should go to jail for 5 years. But It doesn't work that way. It's a really bad thing. Lying to the police is illegal. Lying in a deposition is illegal. You can go to jail for that. But unfortunately, lying to your partner is not illegal. Though lying to your partner may be legal, it is devastating. If that is the case, we recommend you end that relationship. Or just wait a little while and it'll end on its own. On that note, I will talk to you, bring the opinions of analytical media over to you in our next video. See you then.